le bon temps brûlé, ladies and gentlemen, and all of our friends beyond the gender binary. It is sometime in the 3 o'clock hour here on KGLT, KGLZ, and KGLT.net, which means it is time for the coffee show with me and my bon frère, Randy. Hi, Randy.
Hi, Keith. I like to gather all the good times together and not let them just loose all over the place like they suggest.
But you know what they say, a rolling good time gathers no moss.
That's true, but I like moss. It's great. It's green, It's fuzzy, it retains moisture for the rest of your plants.
And if you don't know the difference between Spanish and French, you want moss good times if you speak Spanish.
Yeah, I know what Spanish rice is. Is there like a French rice that I should be aware of that is separate?
You make it with cream and butter and cheese and cream and butter and cheese, and then you throw some rice in at the end of the cooking time.
It's like a croissant, but you replace the dough with rice. Got it.
Yep. You fold the rice around a lot of butter in pat after pat. Oh, man. Yes, I have recently been to New Orleans, Louisiana last week. That is why you had a pre-recorded show, even more pre-recorded than normal. Thank you for not having any major historical occurrences while I was away, listeners.
Yeah, and it's always fun when we pre-record a show and have to go back in and change it because of some event that's transpired. So fortunately, in this case, we didn't have to. Good times.
Yeah, we have had to do that.
Yeah.
But I am back. Randy, you are back. I know that while I was away, you, hid in a cave?
I hid in a cave like the superhero Batman does. I have a very powerful computer down there, which is nice, and a giant penny, which is, I'm saving it for a rainy day, you know.
Yeah, it has all the trophies of all the crimes you've solved. There's giant penny, the big T-Rex statue.
I'm just looking for I'm looking around in that cave for a giant penny smashing machine so that I can smash it to have a giant copper plate saying that I've attended some function at the Batcave.
I went to the giant Six Flags and all I got was this lousy giant smashed penny. I see the Randy mobiles over there.
Yeah, I like to hang up mobiles in the cave. It makes the ceilings more interesting. You know, different things spinning around up there.
From that time when you fought Alexander Calder. Yes.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's a joke for the art fans out there.
Yeah. We fought atop a giant precariously balanced beam.
I'm so glad to be back, though, and I'm so glad to be here with you this week, Randy. We're going to have so much music and fun. What have you learned in my time away?
Well, Keith, I've learned that the secret to any good show is, of course, having a great program underwriter, like program underwriter Whistle Pig Korean.
Why so serious? It's impossible to be that serious when you're eating delicious food from Korea. True. Yeah.
You want to know how I got these scars? I drank right out of the hot bowl when they put it down.
The sizzling bibimbap. Yeah, you're not supposed to do that. You got to wait.
You got to wait for it to cool. They tell you when they drop it off. I just
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, they absolved themselves of all legal liability, for sure.
Yeah, I have no one to blame but myself.
If only the Joker had such foresight, had such insight to his own inner workings. I've no one to blame but myself for falling in that vat of weird chemicals at the playing card factory.
Yeah, that's a good idea, too, to wash off any face makeup that you have on before you eat so it doesn't get in your mouth when you're eating like a hotter soup like that. Ruin the food that way.
Yeah, I mean, no matter how vegan your makeup is, it's still, it says non-toxic, but that doesn't mean delicious.
Yeah, not tested on animals is great. Not made from them is great. Not tasting in your food even better.
Yeah,
it's disgusting. There's a reason most restaurants don't serve. This is a dish we've created. It is a daily soup we've created for you. Of course, there's a skiff of melted makeup atop. That's not it's not a cheese like a French onion soup style level of cheese. That is a pancake makeup. Which do not let the term pancake fool you. It does not taste like pancakes.
It's a jiggly consommé that looks like someone's whole like Tammy Faye Baker face of makeup is like flowing on the top. There's lips and cheek rouge,
fake
eyeliner.
Eyelash on there just for garnish.
Waiter, there's an eyelash in my soup.
Yes, please don't eat that. That is just garnish. Set it aside and enjoy, sir. Thank you. What is this? Is there something in my soup? Maybe it's Maybelline.
That was Shannon and the Clams with their song I Never Wanted Love from their great album Onion. We started the coffee show this week with A Whole Lotta Baby by Reverend Horton Heat, and in the middle you heard the Summer Twins with their song Demons. Just starting it off with some sort of rockabilly stuff this week. I'm not playing any New Orleans bands because, there's nothing worse than going to a place and then coming back and acting like y'all know everything about it. Like, here's some French accordion music for you.
Fortunately, you were able to master their culture while you were there and bring it back with you.
Yep. I know how to sweat and eat amazing food.
And of course, you also like to show off your new fleur-de-lis tattoo that you got at Program Underwriter Bozeman's Tattoo Alley. Who dat, Keith? Who dat?
Who dat? Oh, yeah. I don't know.
Oh.
Let
me know when you know who dat.
Yeah, I didn't get enough of the culture in my 4 days there. I'm sorry. I barely learned not to say New Orleans and just say New Orleans. So that's about the extent of my education.
Hey, you're only there like 72 hours, maybe. It's a good takeaway.
I learned I still love chicory.
Yeah, gross.
Oh,
I know you're a fan. I know you're a fan.
I love chicory. Sure. I love chicory like I love, records and pizza from Program Underwriter Columbo's Pizza and Pasta.
They got a whole room with a pool table in there now.
Yeah, check out the Break Room, their new tap house, and also food style spot in the same building. It's got great service, great drinks, great video games and pool and other things you can do. They've had some amazing music lately.
I go and I stand right between the two, just looking left and right, and I can't decide which door I want to go into.
Oh, no. You're like the dog from Freedom of Choice. You looked at one bone, then the other, ran in circles and dropped dead.
Earlier, I was like the dog from the RCA, the old RCA ads, who just would listen to the phonograph because you were playing the music. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like how whenever I play a song, you tilt one ear towards the speaker up, but I'm very uncomfortable with the term "his master's voice" when we are talking to each other, though.
The ear thing, though, I mean, you have a dominant listening ear. You've got a dominant hand, probably, unless you're ambidextrous.
Sadly, no.
I'm not whatever the listening version of ambidextrous is.
Monaural.
Yeah, well, no, you have two ears. And monaural would be if your ears both went into one pipe, if you couldn't discern which ear.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can still hear it in stereo, but you have a better ear, that's true.
My brain does me the favor of separating out the audio into two distinct channels.
I am very monodextrous, but I am stereophonic in my hearing.
Sorry to any of our listeners who are monophonic, hearing capable, but you don't want to brag about ability, but that's you.
Randy, I brought you back some pralines from New Orleans.
Oh, delicious. We're not in the same physical location. How is this going to work?
I'm going to eat them right in front of you and enjoy them.
Good.
And
I hope they got stale on the plane.
They melted a little bit. It was very, very hot down there. It's not so much a praline as it is a puddle of sugar with some nuts in it.
You could almost, it is so hot and sticky there that you could almost smack that on the wing of the plane and then retrieve it upon landing, and it would probably still be there. But that is the degree of freshness which I hope your praline has.
It might still be there, but they would be pretty mad at me for walking out onto the wing.
You just put it underneath, smack it up underneath, somewhere accessible that you can get to on the outside of the plane. If you don't feel brave enough to try it yourself, I get it. We're in a post 9/11 society. You can't just wander out onto the airfield with a handful of praline and just start slapping it on a plane. So what you do is you ask a kind stewardess to do it on your behalf.
It may be that they would help you, but the last time I tried going out onto the wing of a plane, I freaked out William Shatner. And he started screaming about something weird on the wing of the plane. And then the next time I tried it, I freaked out John Lithgow. And he was having a tough time. So
they're both horrified by the thought of nuts draped in caramel. It's
well, where they shouldn't be. Like, everything is good in its place where you expect it.
Both of those guys have dental work, Keith. That will just pry out your fillings and any caps you have on there. It's going to absolutely ruin those guys. And look, they speak for a living. Like, that's part of their performance, right? So it's very important that they maintain any dental apparatus that's going to help them, speak more clearly. So they can't just be eating any old super sticky toffee caramel goodness that you and I might get to enjoy because we don't have to have that for our jobs.
Yeah, we're talking on the radio, and you've got a mouthful of caramel right now.
Yeah, I do. This is like, no one's heard my normal non-candy filled voice on the radio ever, because I just like to snack while we're on the show.
As well you should.
Keep that blood sugar spiked, and it's not really a spike, is it?
That was Junie and the Hut Friends with their song The Consequence of Imagination is Fear. Started that batch of songs with the never-released song 21st Century by Rema, which, if you're like me, you learned it from the movie Voyage of the Rock Aliens, which only has just recently finally been released to home video. After that, you heard the great Australian band Even As We Speak with their song Love Is the Answer, and Kitchen's song by Tessa Violet from her new album My God.
You know, Keith, sometimes in the middle of the day, you need a pick-me-up.
Yeah.
I'm not talking in general here. I mean, you specifically need a pick-me-up.
I fall down and someone needs to crane me back into a upright position.
And in lieu of carting you around like Dr. Hannibal Lecter, Keith, what I'm going to recommend is a visit to program underwriter Ghost Town Coffee Roasters. And maybe, our listeners could benefit from such treatment as well.
Could you please get me a straw? I need to drink through the weird mask you've put on my face.
It's not great for the wine glass for your Chianti.
No, can't fit a fava bean through this mesh over my mouth at all.
I suppose if you're already strapped to that cart, we could probably take the mask off for a feeding at that point.
That's just the start of your problems.
Let's get one of those long extendable spoons that I can scoop it up to give you out of threatening distance, that kind of thing.
Please stop just throwing food at my face. I don't know, this water balloon filled with coffee is very hot, and
Yes.
I am getting some coffee, but also some balloon, and I'm not appreciating that.
Keith, if you try and bite again, I'm just going to let go of the handles and push you over face first onto the ground. It's not going to go well for you.
Fine, but some kind of quid pro quo, I guess.
The coffee just pours right through the little grate on the mask. The froth and foam kind of gets stuck on there, but not all of it.
Yeah, it makes me look silly. Could you at least have them draw in the foam art some type of vivisected human torso, please?
No, we're not doing that. No, absolutely not.
Fine.
Respond to the demands of a prisoner in this case, Keith.
Death's head moth it is.
That's fine. That's just an insect.
Oh, yay. That movie won Best Picture at the Oscars.
That movie did win Best Picture, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
It's a great movie, yeah. It's a fine film.
I've been trying so hard, but there's no way to get out of this serial killer phenomenon that you've put us in to get to another underwriter.
Keith, I'm used to rolling you around to open mic nights and propping you up next to the mic. But now I don't have to do that, because now I can enjoy program underwriter Last Best Comedy, Montana's Comedy Club.
Well, that's my time. Agent Randy's going to be here to wheel me off stage in just a moment. Keith, I know my jokes have been a little hard to understand, muffled through my mask. It's like, what's the deal with airplane food? I can't fit it through the grate in my mask. Time to do some crowd work. Hey, quid pro quo there, drunk guy in the front row. What's the worst animal slaughtering sound you've ever heard?
Up next, we've got Buffalo Bill dancing for you. Oh. Please enjoy your complimentary lotion baskets.
Would you laugh at me? I'd laugh at me.
That's good.
Trunk Full of Amps by Self. We started that batch of songs with They Might Be Giants and their song Pet Name. After that, Joan Jett and Paul Westerberg sang a song from quite a long time ago by Cole Porter, Let's Do It. And you also heard the Aquabats with their song Look at Me, I'm a Winner. And speaking of winners, I'd like to congratulate Randy for making it another year around the sun. Happy birthday yesterday, Randy.
Oh, thanks, Keith. As we record this, it's not yet my birthday. But as we play this back for the fine listeners, I'll already have had my birthday. So for those of you who are listening and want to wish me a happy birthday, you're too late.
Randy is still accepting gifts of beef jerky and cash, though. So if you see him,
I like the old early 2000s Lowry's beef jerky. It was an especially good vintage. Comes in that round can.
well done. Getting older.
Hey, thank you. I'm just that much closer to cashing in my 401k, so that's fun.
That's rad. And I'm glad to see you have not grown any more mature in the last year.
No, certainly not. I'm going to spend that 401k on a collection of vintage Mad Balls on eBay. So
Jawbreakers and comic books, I assume.
yeah, I mean it's seems like a good, with the exception of the Jawbreakers, a good investment opportunity.
Jawbreakers, I mean, they're a better investment opportunity than all those NFTs I bought.
Yeah, the Franklin Mint candy store assures me that only some candies go up in value, some might go down.
Wait, is this a Jawbreaker shaped like Stonewall Jackson?
Yes, it is. That's especially collectible for the Stonewall Jackson hard candy fans.
Ooh.
Also, the Franklin Mint candy store, not all of the candies in there are mint flavored. That's just relative to their original business, the name. Don't be confused.
Good to know. Randy, I, of course, am cashing out my retirement fund, taking all of that money, and hopefully I will be able to afford a round for all of my friends at program underwriter Neptune's Brewery.
I have a feeling you're going to get to, Keith, because my secret plan is to use my birthday wish when I blow out the candles, that you'll be able to do that.
Aw, thank you.
Now you just have to rely on my super weak lung capacity to be able to blow out the candles in order for that to happen. So it's like a 50-50 shot.
You also have revealed your wish, so it won't come true.
Well, it hasn't. I haven't made the wish yet.
Oh.
And also you're the only one that knows, and you're the recipient of the wish. So I think hopefully that doesn't disqualify it.
Sure, me and thousands of listeners are the only ones who know your birthday wish.
No, by the time this is broadcast, that wish will either have taken place, they don't know about it, or it won't matter.
Good point. Okay. Listeners at home, you are now privy to Randy's birthday wish. Will we all be at Neptune's Brewery together? Who knows?
Oh, I just forgot. Nobody got me a cake this year.
Oh, what are you blowing out? A road flare?
No, it's just a regular candle, probably in the bathroom.
Oh, it's one of those Woodwick ones. Those are hard. Those are hard to blow out.
Well, I'm hoping for the best. If nothing else, I got the sink there. I can just hold it under running water for a little while.
I don't know if that works. If you have a birthday cake and you just hose it down with the, say, like the sprayer from your kitchen sink, does that count as getting all the candles in one shot for your wish?
If they do, people will then fight over slices that are off the bottom layer of the cake rather than a specific picture frosting piece or something like that.
You melted all my sugar figurines of the McDonald Land characters. Randy.
Grimace is especially grimacy now.
Oh my goodness. But nonetheless, many happy returns. I hope it was a day or will be. I hope it both will be and was a day of fun and presents and cake.
You'll just be going around town trying to claim birthday, freebies from all the different businesses that offer them.
I know this for a fact. You like when people sing birthday songs for you.
No, I don't. What?
It's not even about the desserts. You just want a bunch of waiters staff to come out and clap their hands and sing at you.
Yeah, I do like when they're awkwardly forced to uncomfortably sing for me, but it shouldn't have to be because of my birthday. Maybe it's just because I want to hear The Heart of Rock and Roll sung a cappella at an ice cream place. Except they changed the lyrics to The Heart of Rocky Road, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would tip for that.
Yeah,
that sounds
I
good.
would as well. I got a hot $2 bill just burning a hole in my pocket waiting to be tipped.
Randy, speaking of you and singing, it's just about time for the end of this week's coffee show. And before we say our goodbyes, I want to let people at home know that we're at work or in their cars or at some type of public venue where they're playing the coffee show to people as a public service, that we'll be going out this week on a song from the late Mr. James Buffett, a person for whom we do not necessarily have the strongest musical connection, but I know you in particular have a deep sentimental connection to the song we'll be going out on this week, as I've seen you sing it at karaoke innumerable times.
Yep. And just because we have different attitudes and we have different latitudes doesn't mean we can't meet eye to eye on some things, you know?
That's entirely true. Apparently one of Bob Dylan's favorite American songwriters. Yeah.
There you go.
But I mean, you don't need to make an appeal to authority to love the songs of Jimmy Buffett. That's just what I'm saying there.
Yeah, none of this song that I like in particular is about being on a beach or having a cold drink.
Yeah.
But it's still a fun song.
This song is neither about alcohol nor it being 5 o'clock somewhere. This song is about pining for fantastic facial hair, of which we are fans.
That said, it is almost 5 o'clock on the East Coast, so it means it's time for the end of the coffee show.
Actually, it's
No, wait, on the further than the East Coast. I screwed that up.
Yeah.
We start at 5 on the East Coast. Somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean.
It's 5 o'clock Central Time. All of my friends back in New Orleans are finally ready to raise a Sazerac to the end of the coffee show. Check us out online with all our offerings at the Coffee Show World of Content, wherever you find podcasts, and on YouTube. Just search for the Coffee Show World of Content. You will find us there, and you can hear all of our hilarious jokes that you might have missed. I think that's it. We'll be back next week with more music and fun when I say that he's Randy.
And I'll say that thing about him being Keith.
Snappy catchphrase. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the Coffee Show World of Content. We want to say a very quick thanks to our good friend Jake Monin for our theme song, and let you know that all the incidental music in between is from our friends in the band The Ornery Jacks. Thank you so much to them for writing such great music. You can find all of their tunes and more on the internet. You know how to do that, but we've provided some links in the text description as well for you.
Yes, and I like subscribe notification.
I rang bell and left review and comment.
You sound like the Hunchback.
Well, this is my sanctuary, and also I have a constant ringing in my ears, so fair enough.